I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, people? How you doing? It is a great day. It's a great day. It's a great day. And I'm telling you, I'm so excited to have this next edition. Mr. Walter Wheat is here. He has written the book, God's Home, My Heart, and tribute to our veterans and our Vietnam veterans, actually. And I wanted to welcome him to the show. This is the author's edition. And welcome to the show, sirs. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, I appreciate you asking me.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so tell us about yourself. How did you become an author?
Well, I've always kind of had an interest in writing, even as a child in school. I never had the opportunity to put it to use until I was in my 40s, and I decided I'd go back to school and get my master's degree. And my education was geared more towards technical writing. But I've always had this urge to write poetry. And for some reason, I'd get up in the middle of the night and have some idea, and then I just put it in paper and just started multiplying, and I started enjoying a whole lot more. And I guess seeing my first book in print was what prompted me to keep going.
Wow. Wow. A lot of people don't put their books in print anymore. Why did you do that?
Well, I wanted something that I could tangible that I could pass off to my grandchildren when they grow up, and they can give to their grandchildren. And the electronic mode probably wouldn't have never lasted, and for what I needed it to do.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I hear you. I hear you. So you do have your book, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about, okay, so you went back to school in your 40s. What was that like?
It was difficult because I had never done anything but manual labor before. I worked in lumber yards and that sort of thing. I was a substitute a teacher in a GED program, but it's just that I knew where I was at in life. I could never proceed farther unless I went back to school and enhanced my education. And I guess that was and plus, working at a menial job where you don't get paid very much, not able to pay bills. It all added up. It just took me a while to get confident enough in myself to proceed forward. But getting my master's degree fulfilled my dream.
That is amazing. I mean, going back to school later in life is not always suggested. It's like, yeah. And truly, to tell you the truth, it's like, it's one of those things that not everybody wants to do. And so going back and getting your master's degree after you did it, how accomplished did that feel for you?
I felt like I was on top of the world. I used to be intimidated in the time I spent in the service and things like that. Anyone who had any education above a high school education was a king to me. And of course, I attended high school back in the days when the Vietnam War was going on, and I didn't have the best grade. I wasn't the best student in school, and it's just the hierarchy that seems to be, they would be up there so much, know so much more than me, and I didn't know anything. And it's just a personal dream of mine, and I was glad to find my accomplishment, and I did feel like I was on top of the world when I did. And the day I passed my comp exams, I went by where my wife works, and I gave her the thumbs up sign that I'd made it, and I'm probably more proud of that accomplishment than anything else I've done.
I hear you. And all of the things that you've done and everything that you have accomplished, tell me the one thing of what prompted you to actually put this and release it.
I think I really had nothing that I felt to offer my children in the way of passing the name on to a different generation, or I think that was my biggest hurdle, was just knowing that for longevity purposes that I would be recognized, and in turn they would recognize my name and be proud to be related to me. I know that's very simplistic the way I'm describing it, but I just wanted the name to go on with a certain amount of prestige when the time came.
Wow. That's something that a lot of people have told me, but this goes way beyond your children. Like you could have written a book and given it to them and it would have been fine, but you needed a lineage, you needed a heritage, you need something to, to kind of go and stay here for everyone. And I just appreciate that so very much. You don't even understand. Thank you. And so,
well, you're welcome.
And so, okay, so
a lot of times I had some very common ideas,
right,
things that I knew bothered other people, and I'm just very blessed that I have the ability to put that type of thought into my work.
Exactly.
And I get lots of compliments for that.
Wonderful. Yes, definitely. And especially for the Vietnam veterans, my grandfather passed away in his second tour. And so I know not meeting him was something that, so this really prompted you to actually leave this for your children, but you've in turn left it for mine. How does that feel?
Well, right now I can't really give you a feeling because I really haven't experienced it yet, as far as the longevity part or anything like that. But I feel good. I don't know that ecstatic would be the word exactly, but I just feel good about myself for doing this.
I hear you. And are there any more poetry books coming up in the future?
Well, see, I've written 5 already.
You're kidding. You go, boy.
Yeah, no, God's Home My Heart was my 5th book.
Oh, my gosh.
I've got 4 previous ones, Right on Time, and there's one called Around the Barn, and Poetry Through Memories, I think. I can't remember the other one. But, God's Home My Heart is my 5th book. But, in the publishing, you can get pretty well in debt sometimes if you don't have someone to push for you, and and so I'm still in the process of trying to regain some of the money I put out, for publishing. But this God's Home My Heart is giving me high hopes. I hope that this one will get me recognized. But as far as writing any new books, no, I've got some other poems. Asking me to not write a poem is like asking a dentist not to pull a tooth or something. It just comes natural, and I just utilize the best I can. But I don't have any newer books coming up. I'm hoping that the 5 I've got out there now will take off and give me some recognition in the years to come.
Right. Definitely. My goodness, Mr. Wheat. Thank you so much for doing that. And then writing more and more books. Are you planning on maybe writing a short story maybe in the future?
Well, yes, I have thought about that. And I've thought about children's stories, too. I think that some of my poems can be easily translatable into a children's story. And I've been given some thought, but I kind of have a full-time job with my wife who had a terrible brain injury here several years ago, and I take care of her, and I trying to take care of a household or anything myself, and like that. I don't have a whole lot of time, to do anything else. But yes, I've been seriously thinking about writing a few children's stories, and when I first started writing, I worked for this. It was a local magazine. And I asked him, I said, would you mind, if I wrote some stories for it? One called The Montage. At that time, it was out of Murray, Kentucky, because I did my graduate work at Murray State University. And so I had a monthly short story that I put in there that I became very recognizable, around Murray, Kentucky. And so, yeah, I thought about it. It's just that, with everything I have to do, is the channels and the paperwork, and sometimes it's so overwhelming. Yeah. But I have been thinking about writing a few short stories, but I just never have time to really sit down and edit it. With my poems, I can get up in the middle of the night and work until morning, and no one bothers me, and there's no distractions. And but yeah, I think about it from time, but I'm retired now, and I don't have the energy I used to have. You might say, but yeah. I'm thinking about some children's stories.
Well, that sounds good. That sounds good. You know, Mr. Wheat, what kind of advice do you give to people who want to write a book, who want to write poetry? A lot of guys, you know, they're like this macho guy. They don't want to be writing no poetry. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah. I recently went back to my 55th high school class reunion, and
Wow.
one of the guys was asking me, he said, "Did you write poetry in high school?" And I said, "No, they would have laughed at me if I'd done that." And I don't know if they would or not, but yeah, I had the stigma. You know, I didn't want people to think I was a sissy or something. Or
Exactly. Yeah.
But then I went on to college and got to studying people like Robert Frost and some of the Alfred Lord Tennyson and some of the British writers and like that, and it just kind of just inspired me to just not pay any attention to what other people might say. And if they have an opinion, well, everyone's going to have an opinion.
Right.
See, I just can't let that stop me, and I go on, pursue my dreams, and that's what I would suggest for someone else to do. Just if that's what you want to do, go for it.
Right. Wow. Well, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. I truly appreciate it.
Well, you're more than welcome.
And Mr. Wheat, where can people find your book?
They're in Amazon. All 5 of them are listed on Amazon, but several other book stores have picked them up to order, Barnes and Noble, and I've got books over in England and in Australia, New Zealand, out in the East Coast. I've got a couple of bookstores that pick me there, but Amazon for sure is a place where you can absolutely get them, not just order them online. They're all out there.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, definitely. We're going to have that link in the description box so that way it'll be easy for the people to go actually and see this book. And thank you so much again for being who you are and going out there on that limb and not caring what people think.
Yeah, I guess that would be accurate.
Yep. That would definitely be accurate. That would be a Wheat move. That was me trying to be funny, but I think that's kind of cool. I think that's kind of cool to be the Wheat move. We're going to actually have a Wheat move once a month where you just go out there and you don't care about nothing. We're going to have to do that, Mr. Wheat. Definitely going to have to do that.
Okay.
Okay. And thank you so much. Thank you again so much. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to have that information in the description box below. And don't forget to make your Wheat move today. And until next time, bye, guys.
Okay, then.
All right, bye.
You have a good day.
You too.